Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ray Lars, and welcome back. If you're new here, go ahead, hit the little subscribe button, hit the like button. We talk about all things queer, spiritual, travel. A lovely combo, if you ask me. This channel is here to inspire you.
My person.
I want to remind you of your power, because you are a being full of authority in your own life. And although it may not feel like it, sometimes you have everything within you to make all your highest dreams your reality. Want to know how? Well, some things that I find helpful to keep a good headspace. And if I'm experiencing a lot of those negative thought patterns and emotions as a result of these anxious thoughts, these things that I'm about to share with you can help to calm those atrocities that are entering your mind unpermitted. We're here to stop that, or at least to bring more awareness to it so that we can slowly let it go more consistently. So these are some activities that I find helpful to keep myself in a good headspace. Some tools that you may use to come back to center, shall we say, and find that equilibrium in our hearts that we all have. Yes, we have different experiences, but we all have the same potential here and here. We need some more silliness. Let me let out the silliness for a second. So why don't you do it for yourself? A little trill maybe? A little shake out. Does that feel good? Oh, here we go. Let's begin. Number uno. Meditation. Shocking. I know you're surprised, but for real. And if you're new to meditation, I really want to enforce something here that I think is really important, because I had these similar ideas about meditation before I ever brought it into my life. And I thought the goal of meditation was to quiet the mind, as in stop thinking. Impossible. The goal of meditation is to become aware of your body sensations, the thoughts that are coming through your mind, your feelings, everything. Just become aware of it and gently let it go. So I like the metaphor of imagining thoughts as clouds in the sky, and they enter, but they also leave. You can see the thought. Oh, there's a thought, there's a cloud, oh, there it goes, bye. And you let it go. You allow it to flow through you, but you don't latch onto it and bring it down into your heart and identify with it so much. That's kind of the entire point, is to learn what thoughts are going on and actually step back as the observer of these thoughts, so you can see how your thoughts are contributing to the emotions you may be feeling. And that truly is where it begins. And then you can begin to discern for yourself, okay, does this thought actually serve me? Is it a useful thought? Perhaps, oh, remember to pick up my child from school. Or an unuseful thought that doesn't help you, such as, I am a loser, I will never do anything in life. Oh, and because I think it, it's true. Oh, I'm doomed. No, I sound so dramatic, but no, for real. I've had thoughts like that, like similar things, where I feel inadequate for whatever reason. I would like to call that voice the voice of the ego, the critic, the judger, the devil on your shoulder telling you everything you're doing wrong. And it's easy to believe it. But through meditation, I've become more aware of these thoughts, and how that if I choose to step out and see them from a different perspective, I can recognize more clearly how they do not serve me in any way. And just because I'm aware of it, it doesn't mean I won't ever think about it again. It just means the more you become aware of it and the more that you let it go, it's like practice with anything. The more you do it, the better at it you get. So if you sit down in meditation and for 5 minutes you can't stop thinking, and then you keep like, oh, I'm thinking, Like, just in those moments, the important thing is to not judge yourself. Cast that thought aside. I can't meditate, it's never gonna work, I always think about stuff, I'm a failure, how do people do this? These are some of the things I thought. But once again, hear that thought, recognize it, but then let it go, let it flow. Let it trickle down and out. Because the mind always wants something to do. Anytime it doesn't have anything to do, it freaks out. It's like, I'm here, listen to me, I'm your mind. Ah, pancakes. And the mind is very useful, but it can also be incredibly destructive if you don't know how to gain authority over it and thus power. And then you get to choose where you direct your energy instead of letting it be directed by you or through you by unconscious processes. That's really the goal of meditation. I know I did a long spiel on just meditation alone, but I think that's probably the most important. And also, you can do meditation in several ways. I have a guided meditation on my channel. I'll put the link above and below. But you can also find free meditations on Insight Timer, a free service, and that's incredible. Guided meditations, or you can just set a timer for however long you want. Super useful. But meditation doesn't always have to be like sitting or lying down in a comfortable position, breathing and sitting still. You can do walking meditations, where the point of it is to be fully present in the trees, what you see, smell, hear, taste, touch, everything, like be with it. Anytime the mind has a thought, you do the same thing. You let it go, then return to the sensations that you're experiencing. There's a few helpful tips on meditation, and I've noticed so many benefits and recognized patterns and cycles within myself where I'm like, oh, that's learned from past trauma. I don't want that to be a part of my psyche anymore. And through consistent awareness, it's possible. All right, number 2, journaling. Journaling out your thoughts, writing them down somewhere where you feel safe to write out whatever is on your heart and your mind that no one else will read. It doesn't have to be a literal journal. For example, like I use Google Docs as well for some of my journals. And that way, you always know where it is. You don't have to keep track of it. But you can also use your notes app. But I find that journaling out my thoughts gives me a much clearer perspective on what I'm going through. And it's almost like I can understand my feelings on a certain subject in a much deeper way if I start to write something out than if I'm just musing about it in my mind. Because also, if you're just thinking about it only in your mind, it stays stuck there. But something about physically writing out the thoughts on a piece of paper or on your computer, like, gets it out somewhere else. So you're like, okay, I don't need to keep this here anymore, I can just put it down here, whatever's bothering you. And I think it's important to like do stream of consciousness journaling as well. Don't think too much about what you're writing, just get it down. No one will ever read it. No one should ever read it. Journals are private unless you choose to show it to someone. But don't even think about that. Don't even think about showing this to anyone. Most likely you never will, and nor should you, because you want to have the freedom to be able to express anything, petty or not. Because it doesn't matter if it's petty, just get it down, you'll feel better. Number 3 is breath work. And this goes in tandem with meditation. I'll sometimes do this before or after I meditate. In yoga, these can be called kriyas. It's pranayama. But what this really is cleansing, purification. Breath work allows you to access those deeper states of consciousness, like delta wave states in the brain, where your heart rate slows and you're able to calm the nervous system down from that fight or flight adrenaline response. Or through the night, this is great to do in the morning as well as some breath work. And for the purpose of this video, I have a lot to cover, so I won't be teaching you a kriya today, but if you'd like a video on several kriya practices which really help to give you energy and also focus your attention and allow for more peace and space, comment down below and I will definitely create one for you. Number 4, baths. baths definitely put me in a good headspace because it's like a little token of love for myself. You know, a shower is quick, easy, that's what I do every day. But a bath, turn the lights down low, grab yourself a few candles, put some essential oils in the bath, or maybe a bath bomb. Really set the scene for yourself. Maybe put like a little towel or something behind your neck so you can like really relax. Get yourself centered. It really helps to just be floating in a tub and weightless. And I encourage you to even use your bath time as a meditation. Like, I have been guilty of being like, okay, I'm so stressed with so many things, got a lot in my mind, I'm overwhelmed, let me take a bath. I get the bath all ready, I set it up, I lay down in it, and I'm like, I can't relax because I keep thinking about all the stuff I gotta do and that's going on. It's easy, but I really encourage you, this is your gift to yourself. Really, truly make it about self-love. Like, massage your body with oil afterwards. Get yourself just a nice little sponge, you know, exfoliate. You deserve it. You need to take time for yourself. If you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love anyone else, RuPaul? I quote that so much because it's so true, and it's a lot that people don't realize. They're like, well, if I give to myself, that means I'm not giving to others, and you know, people will think I'm selfish. And no, honey, if you aren't fully giving to yourself first, then you're approaching everything in life, your friends, your work, giving to others from a place of lack. And you can only give what you have. And if you're given from an empty cup, what is everyone else gonna get? An empty cup, maybe some bad vibes. So protect your vibes first. People in your life who truly love you will respect you for that and will want that for you. It's really important. If someone has an issue with you taking care of your basic needs and sanity, they're not a true friend. They're selfish and immature. I don't know who needs to hear that right now, but it's the truth. Number 5, walks in nature. Nature puts me in a brilliant headspace because something about the high frequencies you get from natural life, trees, grass, birds, whatever, the river, it like fills your spirit. It gives you that sort of inspiration that nothing else can really give you. It feeds you. Symbiotic relationships, you and the trees. I really encourage you to take more time to go out and walks in nature, or not even a walk, just anywhere in nature. If you can even just find a tree and just touch it and feel the grounding energy you get from being connected to something with so much history. The roots go down deep and they connect to everything else. You can access that power within you as well. And that really gives me a good headspace whenever I can take time aside. And I notice whenever I am really busy and slacking on my nature time, I get cranky way easier, or more sad quicker, or reactive. But if I'm able to give myself the time and space I need to be alone and quiet in nature, everything else seems much easier to take on. If you can't go every day, maybe every other day, or at least once a week, find a balance that works for you, but I promise you won't regret it. Number 6 is candles and incense. Somehow about lighting a candle, it puts you in that serene space. Not only the smell you get, but just candles are beautiful to look at, am I right? So oftentimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I light a candle, and it just like the act of doing so calms my thoughts. And then now you can sit in that beautiful little space. Perfect opportunity to start meditating or journaling with a candle. Okay, number 7, I set time aside for myself to be free from distractions, free from other people's energies, so I can just sit with my own energy and really clock where I'm at. This is so important, especially if you're an empath. This goes hand in hand with my adventurous spirit, because I love not only taking time aside for myself in my normal living quarters, but like taking myself on a date, going on an adventure with myself, going to a coffee shop or a bookstore that I've never been to, and soaking up that new atmosphere. It's fun. I honestly, like, if you haven't tried it, going out with just yourself, I encourage you to try it. And don't be embarrassed. There's nothing embarrassing about that. It's underrated. Time alone with yourself. Doesn't mean you don't have friends. Doesn't mean you're lame. It means you're confident and strong because you can be with yourself and be okay. And the more you do it, I guarantee you, the more you're gonna like it. Number 8, energy you surround yourself with. Connecting with like-minded individuals. Oh man. If I had known this sooner, life would have been a lot easier. Because you do become who you're around a lot of the time. And the energy you allow into your space is going to affect you. So surround yourself with people who lift you up, who truly are there for you, who commit to understanding where you're coming from and wanting to know how you are really. It's not just about them. Or you feel free to express your thoughts and you don't feel like you have to be anyone else. So I just encourage you to not start spending time with people who you wouldn't want to be alike. So just listen to yourself. You know more than you realize. Number 9, music. Music. Honestly, like, music is so transformative. Put on a certain frequency and automatically you're placed into that space. Good tunes, you know? Sometimes you need the sad tunes when you need to cry. But like, make sure that you aren't only listening to sad music, because then like the lyrics and the lower minor frequencies are going to be permeating in your body all the time. And you need to raise that shit sometimes. Put on whatever music makes you dance, and dance. Naked if you want. I personally recommend 432 hertz. You can just Google this on YouTube and find amazing meditation and relaxation tracks like this. Just put that on whenever you're doing anything. Number 10, tending to my plants. This is Wesley. He's gorgeous, really flourishing out here, you know, doing well. Something about like plants, like, so, I know unfortunately I've killed some plants, not on purpose, but don't let the fear of the plant dying keep you from trying. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey, we're having a good time. Alright, so yeah, tending to plants. And why is this great to keep in a good headspace? Because you're also putting your attention and love and care onto something other than yourself. And that there's something rewarding about watching it grow and being like, oh, I participated in its life. It's not all about what's circulating in your head all the time. There's bigger purposes you can find, even in the smaller moment. Number 11, I will reward myself with something that I enjoy. Whether that be a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, sitting down to read a book, maybe a favorite snack, a face mask, whatever that means for you. Go in the direction of happiness and joy, because that's how you know it's aligned with your soul. If something makes you happy when you think about it, you know, we don't always have to be about hyper-productivity and responsibility. Come on, like, why are we put on this earth? Honestly, I fully believe that it's to enjoy every moment. And if something like a kombucha or a cup of berries will do that for you, then by all means, give that to yourself. An occasional donut. Number 12, expressing myself creatively. And you can do this in many ways. I'm an actor. Also, I'm taking interest in documentaries and filmmaking and creating content for you guys. And I also experiment with music. I love to dance. Even yoga is creative. Writing, painting your nails, designing fashion, like putting together new outfits. Honestly, so many things can be creative. Find what suits you best. And there's no reason that you don't have to do something if you're not good at it. Like, honestly, do it if you're not good at it. Sing loud if it makes you happy and you're not trained. It's okay. You don't have to show it to anyone. If you want to, you can, but honestly, that's not even the point. The point is enjoying the process. Watching an inspiring documentary or movie. And I often like to go on best picture wins list and find something like that. If you're into documentaries or films, just find something that's inspiring to you. It even could be a concert or like going to an open mic. Anything that like gets your inspiration flowing and ideas coming to you. This is great because then you're more in an open state of receiving new information that can benefit you rather than repeating similar thoughts to yourself and going down a spiral like we all do. But keeping a good headspace is about filling your cup with things that are going to give you life and good energy. For example, 5'2" on Netflix, the documentary about Lady Gaga. That was the first documentary I saw that really turned me on to documentaries and creating them for myself. It was that profound for me, and it was just the way it was shot. It was simple yet profound, and there was a sacredness to it that really intrigued me. So if I'm ever feeling down, I watch an inspiring documentary and see the point of it all once again. Oh, number 14, clear my mind, watching a sunrise or a sunset. I find that particularly a sunrise can be extra revitalizing because getting up at the beginning of the day and that sort of quiet, seeing the start of it all, the light coming through, oh, it's magical. If you haven't done that recently, I highly suggest that you do, especially if you're alone and quiet. Honestly, I think that's the best time to do it. Like, if you like to, you can bring someone, but if you're alone, you're more able to fully experience what's happening without verbal distraction. Number 15, stop taking everything so seriously. Easier said than done, I realize, and it comes easier with practice. Just have fun. Do things that you enjoy. If you're not filling your life with enough things that you enjoy, I think it might be time to reorient your priorities. And I get it. Money, gotta make money, gotta do my shit. Understandable, but it's easier to stay trapped in the cycle of lack and I'm never gonna have enough. Because it's scarier to trust that perhaps if you reorient your thoughts, you could actually change your external reality. That's a scary thought because most people don't realize that that's possible. And also, if you keep staying in the cycle you're in, well, then you have an excuse to complain about it. A lot of people like that unconsciously. I was in that space before too. I didn't realize how addicted I was to my own suffering. Crazy, right? And maybe you're like, no way. Who the fuck would want to suffer? Why would I want to put myself through these thoughts? And it's not that you consciously do, but what you experience constantly is going to feel safe. And if that's negative thought patterns, it's often easier to just let yourself go through that than to widen your perspective. When I say this, I'm speaking to myself too, because we all do it. But I want to remind you that you are fucking powerful. And this doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. That just means we all have the energy within us, the higher source, to become whatever we want to be. It all begins with your thought, though. Thought influences action and emotion and reality far more than you might realize. And if you shift this, everything else shifts too. You can do this. I believe in you. We're all in this together. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh. Okay. It's a rainy day outside. Tired, but not in a bad way. I need to get more work done today. But while I do so, I'm gonna breathe and remind myself of what it means to be alive. What's the point if we're always striving for something else? We're never going to arrive. But once you realize that where you are is exactly where you're meant to be, the whole world opens up to you. Start to take notice. Make every moment sacred. Say fuck it more often. Float your boat. And on that note, I will see you very soon.